Hi, my name is Sheila Hill. I'm an intuitive life coach and a spiritual guide. I wanted to talk to you today because such profound wisdom came through me. Not things that I didn't know. It wasn't like a channeled thing. It was in response to someone's comment on another social media site about a video that I did. So if you can stick with me, I assure you there is gold in this information that I wanted to share. I'm going to try my best as authentically as possible to replicate my response that I gave at that time. So where it all came from is a video that I did, which I will post here, regarding resonance, that following your resonance is actually a form of duality, which when you watch the video, you'll understand what I'm saying about that. And in that video, part of the language, the verbiage that I used was being in acceptance of what is. That when you look around and you see certain things, you have to be in the understanding that it exists because somebody needed it to. We are both individually and collectively co-creating this reality and have for thousands of years. So this person came back in the comments and I was not at all triggered or offended. And she just sort of like paraphrased what I had said about someone because someone needs it, and went on and listed, and I'd be careful about my language on this platform, but she went on and listed starvation and things that are going on overseas and the atrocities that have happened to children and some of those sort of key phrases. That level of evil cannot exist, shouldn't exist. And it was sort of inferring to the fact that when I said being in radical acceptance of what is, that I was somehow condoning these things or in spiritual bypass. So as I said, I wasn't triggered at all. But I think that in response to her comment, which she was just the voice of many, I'm sure that there are many, many people that are awakening to the atrocities that are happening on this earth that feel that way, that are in shock and despair around the level of quote unquote darkness that has existed all along, but is now being shown to us. So I wanted to fully honor her comment. And so much so that in the way that I honored it, I was like, oh my goodness, this has to be shared on this platform as well. So I really appreciate it if you spend a couple of minutes with me and listen while I unpack this. I am not here to convince anyone of anything. I'm not here to make you think the way that I think or to change your mind about what is actually happening on the planet. But I think I'm able to offer you some perspective and some wisdom that may expand your perspective, that may bring you some peace, that may help you on your ascension journey in coming into a more neutral space when you're being poked at and triggered and poked at all the time. So the first part of the unpacking of my reply to this is that acceptance and agreeance are two entirely different things. We are not here to necessarily agree with each other or agree with what we see playing out on the planet, particularly right now. But being in acceptance of the fact that it exists, being in acceptance of the fact that your life is where it is, and knowing that that is temporary, as all things are, that goes a long way into helping your ascension process. The more neutral and non-attached you can be, the more you are able to raise your frequency. So agreeance with the atrocities is not the same as being in acceptance of the fact that it is actually happening. So that's an important thing to consider. The other piece that I offer as well is that your soul is in relationship with you, the human, but the human is in relationship with reality. So the soul came here, which is your true divine self, to have certain experiences, to be exposed to certain things, to evolve and grow through those experiences and things that it is exposed to. So what I would say is bear in mind that while there is only one consciousness existing on this planet, and we are all sort of having our own individual yet collective experience, that if these, we're going to just label the whole thing atrocities that are happening to humans on Earth, if that is not what is right in front of you in your now moment, then it's not of your concern. Now, I don't mean that in, well, if it's not happening to me, I don't care. It's a care but don't carry. It's a accept the fact and have empathy and compassion and send love that these things are happening to people that are not you, but it's not in front of you and you aren't experiencing it because that was not a co-creation that your higher self, your soul, or God consciousness wanted you to have. You're pulling that in. And by pulling it in, you are, if you're not in awareness of this fact, by pulling in that information, the codes, the visuals, the storylines, and the experiences that are being had that aren't in your face or a part of your experience, you are downgrading your own frequency. You are giving your body and your psyche more things that it's going to need to clear, while subjecting your soul to experiences that it never asked to have. So while your soul in its most expanded all-knowing state is aware that these things are happening, at the same time, your soul as a divine template of who you truly are is really only in relationship with you and working through you to try and have the experiences and be exposed to the types of things that your soul came here to have. So again, by detouring into other aspects that are happening on the planet that aren't right in front of you, you are affecting your field and your psyche that is only going to need to be cleared again while subjecting your soul to things that it didn't come here to have. The other layer to this information is the concept around the evil that exists or the dark that exists on this planet. Anything that exists sort of out there is a direct physicalized manifestation of what has existed within each and every one of us over thousands of years. So as God consciousness, universe, source, prime creator, fractalized itself into an infinite number of expressions in order to gain experience, wisdom, knowledge, and evolution, we did the same thing. So your divine soul blueprint is not just you. It is you, it is your past lives, it is your future aspects, and it is your parallel realities that are fractaled across time and space. Stay with me. What this means is that you have been and are everything. You have been and are the light and the dark, the good and the bad, the good and the evil, the victim and the victimizer. For the experiences that this planet offered for souls to come and evolve from every direction in every way, it was an opportunity. And it's an opportunity that is expiring, that we are calling our fractals back home to us, to our sacred heart, to the one that is ascending. But that also means that if we are labeling, judging, and in resistance of anything that is not of the love of the light, then we're really in resistance of aspects of ourself. Now, I know that there is a lot going on in the world right now that is difficult to witness. And as empaths, as many of us are, it makes it that much more so, more difficult, more emotional. But your experience here and your sort of duty is to stay in as much alignment with your own soul and walk yourself back into that perfect alignment with your divine self every single day. And that means honoring the experiences that you came to have fully and not participating or really like engaging yourself in experiences that aren't in front of you to have, by Don't pull stuff into your field that is not for you. Be in radical acceptance of what is out there that is difficult to witness. And understand that on some level, if you have great attachment to a story, or that if you are in great resistance to something or labeling something as being dark or evil or of some other people's agenda, that's an indication for you where you have to go within and find those experiences, those keys and codes within you, because you're operating from separation. We're here to accept ourselves, our shadow, as it's called, and our light, and merge the two within us in divine neutrality so that we can ascend into being mastered beings. That is what the ascension is offering us. We are calling all of our fractals and aspects back home. And as we do that, all of those timelines and events that we don't like to see right now, they will all collapse and go away. There are no souls on this planet right now that don't have the ability to do what their soul is asking for them to do. Nobody has a handicap. The last piece that I offer with respect to this is everyone going to ascend? No. And I don't know what those numbers are, and there are still many, many, many millions, if not billions, probably billions of people on the planet that are yet to awaken in divine time, as always, right? As chosen by the soul for the experience the soul came here to have. But will it be everyone? No, it won't be. So the other piece to this is that as we and God consciousness fractalized ourselves across time and space for the purpose of gaining experiences, for being able to play out as the light and the dark both, did the true Christed consciousness, did the divine blueprint of consciousness get diluted and degraded? It did. It did. And there are some people on the planet that are of God consciousness, but they have played in lower level consciousness games for so long, over so many lifetimes, that what they hold within them, even if it was awakened, it's so diluted now that those souls will need to go and either up-level themselves through more experiences that are at a higher level, or they will go back to source for re-encryption. So that's the other part of it as well, is that what we're seeing playing out right now are fellow humans, but not all of them are fellow humans that are here to participate in the ascension process. That doesn't mean that we don't love and honor them, and it doesn't mean that we think of them as being NPCs or whatever other language that we could possibly use. It's just stepping into the divine wisdom of understanding that not everyone is going to ascend, and those that aren't are put in certain places to allow certain levels of consciousness to play out. Again, if you are in resistance to this, part of it will be the fact that you're an empath, as we all are, and it's difficult to witness, and I understand that. But don't go pulling in things and experiences for yourself that aren't meant for you. If you are in that great resistance to the idea that darkness exists, then it means you are operating from a place of separation, that there is darkness, so to speak, wounds, traumas, discordant energy that lives inside of you. And that is showing you where you still have work to do. So I will wrap it up with this. Acceptance and agreeance are not the same. Acceptance is really, really important because it helps you it walks you into divine neutrality. That's important. Understanding that your soul is only in a relationship with you, that your frequency, your thoughts and beliefs and reactivity and responsiveness to your reality is what your soul is experiencing through you, but you are having an experience with your outer reality. It doesn't see what you see and hear what you hear. It responds through your frequency on how you respond to what you see and hear. So staying in alignment with what is in front of you, what is being co-created for you and through you, is really, really important without pulling in other things. And then finally, understand that not everyone is ascending. Everyone is here and playing the role that they need to play. And that if you are, in separation with what is going on right now, then it's a good indication that you have some separation within you to work on. I really hope that this helps you. Please leave any questions or comments in the comment section. Until next time, much love.